Hey everybody, Ryan F. MTG here, and today we are doing more card reviews for the brand new set, Adventures of a Tiny Hero. My last video, we talked about all the red cards, the winners and losers of the red bracket, and today we are going to be talking about all the green cards. But yet again, before I start, I just want to say these are my more initial impressions. I haven't really gotten time to really play with a lot of these cards, so this is, my first/second take on the cards, and I'm very willing that, in a week or even in a couple days that this will change, and so my views will change from day to day, as that's the beauty of card games, right? You explore, things become better and worse. But that's enough about that. Let's jump into the cards. First up, we have Curious Cat Feline. It's 4 MP for 1/7 with 2 tribes. It's beast and monster, and it says when played, give a random friendly human unit +1 attack and shield. And then it also has the text, after taking damage and surviving, it gains MP boost 20. And that can stack. Overall, this little feline does a lot of work. Base level 4 MP for 1/7, right? 1 is not a lot of attack, but 7 is a healthy HP, so this will stick around, and especially because you want feline to take a little bit of damage, so you get the MP boost 20, and then 40, and so on. The first part is obviously not for every single deck, but if you can build a human deck and then put feline in it, that seems really good, because giving a random friendly human unit +1 attack and shield is actually really, really good icing on the cake. So overall, this does a lot of work. The big question is, how many times can you really get the MP boost? Because if you're not getting the MP boost, then feline falls quite short. However, like I said before, it does have 7 HP, so this can, kind of fight in combat, take a little bit of damage, but there's also quite a lot of green cards, or a couple, I should say, green cards, that deal damage to your own units. So if you're pairing feline with those actions, or even other units, then this card becomes fantastic. So I'm really excited for the possibilities of this card. The second green legendary unit is Unwavering Justice Chris. It's 5 MP for 2/4 human. It says, when played, place a human unit with an MP cost of 3 or less from your deck onto the field. When a friendly human unit is placed on the field, get +1/+1. This card is very, very good. Obviously, you slot this into a human deck and it's just fantastic. And even if you're not doing all humans all the time, it's still fantastic, because 5 MP for 2/4, yes, those stats are not great, but it tutors up a friend and places it onto the field, not just to your EX pocket, so it places it onto the field. Yes, it is 3 or less, so it will be a unit with MP cost 3. But that's still, you spent 5 MP to play Chris, and it brings a 3 MP friend. That's 8 MP worth of units, and then also Chris starts pumping up. So this is just such a good card. Yet again, it is a legendary, so you are only getting to play 1, but in a unit or a human unit heavy deck, this will be a powerhouse. Crescent Grizzly is 5 MP for 1/4 machine. It says, while on the field, all friendly machine units gain +2 attack. This is a reason to be playing a machine tribe deck. Yes, 5 MP for 1/4 is not the best stats. However, it pumps itself up, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really 5 MP for a 3/4, pumping up the rest of your machines with +2 attack. Yes, Grizzly is pretty fragile with just having 4 HP. However, you're in green. There's a lot of shields or ways to pump up HP, so you can definitely have Grizzly stick on the board and just keep pumping up your team and hitting for hard. So overall, I'm a big fan of Grizzly, and this makes me really excited for machine decks. Sasquatch is 4 MP for a 2/6 beast. It has growth 7, and level 2, give all friendly units +1/+2. Let's first look at the stats. 4 MP for a 2/6 is actually pretty good stats, right? A 2/6 just for 4 MP is not too bad. However, the effect of give all your units +1/+2 is really good, right? However, it's growth 7, and that's a level 2 effect. So it will take you quite a while to actually trigger Sasquatch, and I feel like a lot of times Sasquatch might die before you get to trigger it, so you're just playing a 4 MP 2/6. Also of note, it is a beast. there are not tons of beast or beast matters cards as much as with monsters or humans or some of the other tribes. So overall, I don't think Sasquatch is a terrible card, but I don't really see playing it because the growth effect, yes, it is powerful and good, and I would like it in a deck. It's a little bit too hard to achieve. Nero is 4 MP 04 for a human demon. It has spillover, and when placed on the field, this unit gains +1/+1 for each different tribe among all friendly units. This counts itself, right? Because itself is a friendly unit, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just say Nero is the only unit, right? Your other two board lanes are empty. So you place this, it's a human demon, so it will get +2/+2. So it will be a 4 MP 2/6 with spillover, and right there, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that because spillover is a very, very powerful effect, and then you can shield and try to pump up Nero himself just with other stuff. However, a lot of times if you just have one machine on the board or some other tribe, this will get +3/+3. So overall, especially that Nero has 2 tribes himself, I really like this card. I think this card has a lot of potential. Sharra is 8 MP for a 2/10 monster. It has spillover, and after taking damage and surviving, gain +1 attack and shield. This card, I think, is a powerhouse. Yes, 8 MP is a lot of MP. However, green has ways to either reduce MP cost of units or to, MP ramp with layers, irises, all that. And so therefore, like 8 MP, yes, it's expensive, but you can get there, right? And the effects are so powerful. At first thought of like, oh, 8 MP for a 2/10, that's not fantastic, but a 2/10 is a big body, right? 2 attack, yes, that's not a ton for 8 MP. That's actually really, really weak. However, 10 HP is a lot of HP. This will stick around for a while. I like spillover a lot, and after taking damage and surviving, you pump up with 1 attack and it gets shield. And yet again, there's other ways to deal damage, ping your own units to get these damage triggers. So overall, yes, it's expensive, but I think it's worth it. I don't think you're going to be playing 3 because it is so expensive, but this will be a good top end 1 or 2 of for a lot of monster decks. The tank is back. This time around, it's 5 MP for a 1/7 machine. It has shield, anti-air. And it also says, while on the field, all friendly machine units gain +1 attack. So we've kind of already seen plussing your machine's attack, so really this plus its own. So it would be 5 MP for a 2/7 with shield and anti-air. Right there, I'm pretty happy with this, and it just shares the love with your other machines. And especially this will stick around because it has shield, right? It can take the first hit for free. Anti-air is not always great, but when it's good, it is fantastic. So overall, I really like the tank, and yet again, I'm just kind of itching to build a machine tribe deck. Bamboo Panda is 3 MP for a 4/8 machine. However, right there, it's like this card is broken. There is a downside. It says, while on the field, decrease your MP charge speed by 30%. That's a pretty big downside, right? 30% is a significant percent. We play cards to increase our MP, not to decrease. However, the body of Bamboo is ridiculous, right? It's 3 MP for 4/8. Overall, I actually like this card, especially how you play Teppen. You could play, 2 other machines, then play Bamboo. All your machines are pumping each other up, will stick around, and yes, you're netting MP slower, but that's fine. You have a humongous board that will take so much resource and time from your opponent to deal with that it's okay that you're slowly netting that MP. So overall, I actually like Bamboo a lot, and I think yes, it has really good things going for it, really bad things going for it, but I think this is a card that you will play. Necro is a 3 MP 2/4 creature. When played, if your deck has 15 or less cards, gain +1/+3. I think this card is really good. Yes, it's a creature tribe, so there's not tons of synergies, at least in green itself for creatures. Maybe in other colors there will be. But, however, 3 MP for a 2/4, that's nothing terrible, right? That's pretty fine. And you get the plus when you only have 15 or less cards. That's not too few, right? Your Teppen deck only has 30 cards, and you start with 5 cards in your hand. That means your Teppen deck only has 25 cards. 15 is just 10 less than 25. So towards the mid game, this is already, that plus should already be online. Yes, if it's extremely fast aggro meta and you're not getting to 15 or less cards, then this definitely goes down. But as long as it's like, mid to late game, this is really good because +1/+3, that means it's a 3/7 for 3 MP, which is pretty close to Bamboo Panda with no downside. So I actually really like Necro, even though it doesn't have tribe synergies as of yet. Karin is 3 MP for a 2/4 human. When a friendly human unit is placed on the field, she gains shield. This is actually pretty good, right? 3 MP for a 2/4, like I said before, that's nothing too terrible. It's a human, so that's a tribe that green wants to play around with. And every time you place a human on the field, you're getting shield, and shield is such a powerful effect, right? We play action cards that strictly say just give a unit shield. To be fair, Karin is not the most powerhouse unit, so you might not want to be shielding her up if you have to spend actions, but if you can pump her up in ways, Karin will stick around for a long time. So I definitely feel like this will be a nice early 3 MP play, or you could wait till the late game to play her in a human-centric deck. Grimalkin is 4 MP for a 2/2 beast monster, and it says when play, place a monster unit with an MP cost 3 or less from your deck onto the field. So yet again, a unit that brings a friend. So it's 7 MP worth of units just for 4 MP. Yes, a 2/2 body is pretty darn weak and it doesn't do anything else. However, it is a beast and monster, so this can get pumped up with your other units. So as long as you have a good 3 MP or less monster in your deck to tutor up, this will be a very, very good card. Nico is 3 MP for a 4/2 human. When played, add 1 machine unit from your deck to your EX pocket. I'm not a big fan of Nico. 3 MP for a 4/2, like those stats are pretty good. However, it's really aggressive. It's probably just going to hit your opponent for 1 or maybe trade with a unit because 2 is so fragile. And it tutors up a machine. She is a human, so therefore you have to be playing a human and machine deck. And that feels, maybe it will happen a lot more often than Nico goes way up, right? And it's not bringing it onto the battlefield, it's putting it to your EX pocket, so it's nothing free, right? You don't get to get free value. Yes, you are tutoring up something and putting in your EX pocket, which is nice, and it also doesn't have the 3 MP restriction like a lot of the other tutor cards have it so far in green. But overall, I'm down on Nico. However, I could see a world where she is really good. Rufus is 3 MP for 2/1 with shield. Death you explore for spillover. Overall, I think Rufus is a fine card. I really think Spillover is a pretty good card to explore for. And a 3 MP 2/1 with shield, that means it can hit either, it can hit another unit twice because the first time is free. So Rufus does some damage, maybe trades off with something, and then you get Spillover. So if you're in the market for early curve filler human, or just any early curve filler, I think Rufus is good. However, not great. You're not going to be building your deck around him. Wasp is 4 MP for a 1/3 creature with flight, and it also has the text when played, place up to 2 wasps from your deck into empty board slots. So the dream is you only have 1 wasp in your hand, you play it, and it brings 2 friends. That is actually pretty powerful, right? Because if you get that, right, it's 4 MP for 3 1/3s with flight. 1/3s are extremely fragile, but you are playing green, right? So if you can shield them up, pump up their attack and HP, and do other things like that, then this becomes very good. Keep in mind, though, that they are creatures, and so far in green, we haven't really seen any effects that care about creatures. Maybe this will fit in a dual color deck. So overall, I think Wasp is a good card, but definitely a build around just because 1/3 bodies are so fragile. But even, hey, if they're fragile and they just take some hits, that's fine because they're bringing a whole army to the table. Snow Slider is 3 MP for 1/1 with shield. When played, give a random unit in your hand or EX pocket +1/+2. Of note, it's just any random unit, right? It doesn't have to be a machine, human, doesn't care about the tribe. I think this card's pretty decent, right? 3 mana or 3 MP for 1/1. That's such a weak body. Yes, it does have shield, but it's only doing 1 attack, right? So it's not that good to give it shield. However, +1/+2 to a unit in hand or your EX pocket is quite a big buff, right? And sometimes you play cards, an action card that could cost 2 MP for that, or sometimes 3 MP for that effect. So overall, I think Snow Slider, it's pretty good, but nothing fantastic. Plant 42 is 4 MP for a 2/6 creature. After dealing battle damage to an enemy, gain +2 HP. I think this card is very good. I've already heard people talking about putting Plant 42 in X Charge Shot, and I think that's a great home for this, because base level, 4 MP for a 2/6, pretty decent stats for sure, right? 2 attack is nice, 6 HP means that this will stick around for a while, and whenever it deals any combat damage, right, it's just to an enemy, it gets +2 HP, so this will just be a nightmare for your opponent to destroy because it's just getting +2 HP every single time it deals damage. And then pair this up with shields or other pump stuff or X Charge Shot, so every single time that this deals damage, it gets +2 HP and +1 attack. I'm really excited for Plant 42. I think this is such a strong card. Rush Rotor is 4 MP for a 1/5 machine. It says when on the field, all friendly machine units gain agility. I think this card is fantastic. And I know I've already said this a couple times with just the new green units, where machines I think are going to be pretty powerful because they play so well with each other, throwing plus attack around and now agility. Agility is such a strong mechanic, especially if you're having more and more attack. So base level 4 MP for 1/5 doesn't feel that great, right? But it has agility itself, and it gives agility to your other machines, and we are in green, which green loves to pump up HP as well as give stuff shield, just so this can stick on the board itself. So overall, I'm a big fan of Rush. Next are the actions, and we'll start with the green legendary action, which is the Trinity. It's 6 MP, so pretty darn expensive, so it better be a really powerful effect. All friendly units gain +1/+1 for each different tribe among friendly units on the field. Now, the thing is, sometimes tribe-focused decks just want to be one tribe. However, maybe you're playing a deck that doesn't really care about tribes, or maybe it's 2 tribes or something like that. Because the big thing is, if you only have 1 tribe on the field, this would be 6 MP, let's say you have 3 units on the field. This would be 6 MP, give each of your 3 units +1/+1. That is definitely not worth 6 MP. So you kind of have to figure out what is the +X that you would want to achieve, and in my mind it's +3/+3. That's just kind of a random number that I picked out, because if it was 6 MP, give your 3 units +3/+3, that's +9/+9 of stats, and that's pretty good. But if it's 1 or 2, I don't think that that's really worth 6 MP. I think you can be doing way better. So overall, I think Trinity can look very flashy and have this great upside of like, oh man, there's 6 different tribes, you could get +6/+6. That's not happening. Or even 5 or 4 really. So yes, you can live in a magical dreamland, but in actual reality, I don't think you're going to be really playing Trinity. Besides, if you have a really hodgepodge, not really tribe-focused deck, that you could turn on +3/+3 all the time. Glare of Contempt is 2 MP, and Karin's just glaring at Feline. Come on, Karin. You know you want to just be friends with Feline. However, it says, give a friendly human unit +2 attack. If that unit has an MP cost of 5 or more, it gains Heavy Pierce. I like this card a lot. 2 MP is very cheap for an action. If you're playing humans, +2 attack for 2 MP seems pretty darn fine, and especially when MP costs 5 or more is not super hard. Like, look at Heavily Kicks Chun-Li. There's so many good humans that are 5 or more, especially 5, and you give it Heavy Pierce, and you're plussing the attack. This seems like a very, very good card to me. Ivy Trap Teamwork is 3 MP. It says seal a unit. Also, if there are 3 friendly units in play, restore its attack and HP back to its original value. So, right off the bat, this is kind of like Disarm, right? It's just Disarm, however, it's 3 MP compared to 2 MP, so it's a strictly worse Disarm. However, the other fact is like Evasionary Tactics, which is also a 2 MP card. So you could almost get the effect of 2 MP cards for 3 MP just with 1 action, and that seems really good. However, you definitely need to be playing this in a unit focused deck, because you want to always be turning on the 3 friendly units, effect with it. Because if you're just getting the seal a unit effect, this is not worth it. Besides, if you want the 4th disarm or something like that. If you want the 4th or 5th disarm, then yeah, throw Ivy Trap just willy-nilly in your deck. However, green usually likes to play with tons of units, so overall I think this is a really good card that does a very good effect of two different cards that we like to play in the past. Sympathy is 3 MP, all friendly machine units gain shield and anti-air. I think this card is great, right? How many times did we just look at the new green units and I was like, man, this unit makes me really want to play machines. And now you have this action that gives shield and anti-air. Shield is the main thing. Anti-air is just kind of like, okay, when that comes into play, that will be fantastic. But shield is such a good, powerful effect, especially when you want to keep your machines around for longer, just to keep that agility going, keep the plus attacks going and all that. And it's all friendly machines. And it's only 3 MP. So even if you're not giving this to 3 machines, even if it is just 2 machines, I think that's really good. Yes, if it is just 1 machine, that does not feel good, right? Because wall jump is just 1 MP. But as long as it's 2 or 3, sympathy seems very, very good. And I think this card is super strong and really just pushes me to want to play machines even more. Banana is 3 MP with a feline just doing a banana dance. And it gives a friendly unit after taking damage and surviving gain +1 MP. So this is kind of a more different or unique MP ramp card, right? Because usually in green, we get a lot of MP ramp with layers and irises like that, but this is just like, hey, your unit takes damage, here's 1 MP. Oh, your unit took more damage, here's another MP. And it's after taking damage and surviving, so it's not attack damage or anything. So all the cards that we're playing that deal damage to our own units, this will trigger it. So overall, if you have big beefy units that will stay on the field for quite a while and take damage, just normal attack damage, as well as you are playing some cards that deal damage to your own units, this card seems very good. Human Engineering is 2 MP, give a friendly unit +1/+1. If your deck has 15 or less cards in it, that unit gets an additional +1/+1. Overall, I think this is a pretty darn good card because it's 2 MP, and as long as you're getting the extra gravy, it's +2/+2, which isn't anything super fancy, but that's really good, right? Usually in green, for 2 MP, you might just get +2 attack or maybe +2 HP, but combining +2/+2 is so good, and it's only 2 MP. And yet again, like I said before with Necro, 15 or less cards is not that hard to achieve, right? It is definitely a mid to late game, but usually green is not super aggressive, right? It usually doesn't win the game in the first 30 seconds. Sometimes it can for sure, but you play some big beefy units, play some actions, all of a sudden you're at 15 cards, you play Human Engineer, get +2/+2, it feels fantastic. So yes, the worst case scenario is this is one of your first plays and it's 2 MP to give a unit +1/+1, which is definitely not good by any means, but it's not terrible. It's not trash. So base level, it's not terrible. And when you do get, jump through the hoop of 15 or less cards in your deck, which isn't too hard to achieve, it's now becoming very good. Sturdy Sunder is 2 MP with the text, give a friendly unit +2 HP. If that unit is a monster unit, it gains an additional +1/+1 and deal it 1 damage. This is a fantastic card for most every single monster deck, and definitely is a push to play monster decks because it's just 2 MP. That's pretty darn cheap for an action, and it on base level it gives any unit actually. So even if you're not a monster unit deck, +2 HP, which is nothing to scoff at. That's actually pretty decent for sure. However, in a monster deck, it's just pure gravy because it gives it +1/+1. And you deal it 1 damage. So really, with dealing it 1 damage, it would kind of be like +1 attack, +2 HP, and a lot of monsters like Feline and the like want to deal itself damage or take damage of any kind, because then you get some extra effects, have it be MP ramp or more attack or more defense. So this is such a good card. Bombst is 2 MP, add a unit card with an MP cost of 5 or less from your deck to your EX pocket. If that card is a human unit, it gets -2 MP. I think this is a pretty solid card and a very good value engine for specifically a human deck. I think you don't really want to be tutoring non-humans up, because if you are tutoring a non-human up, this would be 2 MP to get a unit to your EX pocket with no gravy. But if it is always a human unit, and it's also 5 MP or less, which hits a lot of your units, right? And some of your even more bigger, powerful units. Definitely not all for sure, but it will do a good job at that. It would be 2 MP to get a human unit that then gets minus 2 MP, so that kind of nets itself out. Also, you can play actions in the active response phase. So maybe you play bombst for free, and then you get a human unit into your EX pocket with minus 2 MP. So I think this has a lot of value potential. Those are all the green cards, and green looks like it got a lot of new powerful tools, have it be tribe-centric or not even tribe-centric, right? And I think the thing that I'm most excited about is maybe the machines, right? Definitely monsters and humans for sure got some stuff, but what pops out for me first is the machines, especially with pairing some of the actions. So overall, I think it's really cool how green got some really good tribe-focused units, as well as what looks like some really, really powerful tribe-focused action cards. But that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and the next video will be on all the purple decks from the new set. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later.